Question number 4, Willie Rennie.
I want to thank the First Minister and the Health Secretary for responding so positively to suggestions about care homes and testing for all new residents. I think those steps should help to give more confidence to care home residents and their families. Can I offer another suggestion? Since 2010, members of the UK military have been entitled to a daily operational allowance of £29 when they are deployed to specific operations in demanding conflicts. Would the First Minister consider such a proposal for frontline NHS and care staff to give an extra £29 a day reward for their service during this pandemic?
First Minister.
I will certainly consider any suggestions like that. I mean, we will absolutely, certainly want to make sure that in no doubt a variety of different ways we are recognising the contribution that health and care staff have made, but recognising and rewarding that. I want that to be in a way that makes sure that we have a system in Scotland, as I believe relative to other parts of the UK, we more so do have a system that properly rewards our NHS and care staff through the pay that we give them. But we will want to make sure that we reflect properly on this experience. And, you know, to go back to something Patrick Harvey said, make sure that we, and this applies broader than just this issue, that what we are learning through this crisis about what really matters in life and what we really value most is actually reflected in where we spend our money as a government as well. On the issue about care home testing, if I can just very briefly, we have listened here. We're trying to build as much assurance there as possible. So we said we'll test all symptomatic residents in care homes, and the Health Secretary today has talked about admissions into care homes. One of the points we've made, though, in terms of the first of those, that doesn't change the clinical management of people, and it's really important to stress that. But particularly with people going into care homes, where they're not symptomatic, we know the test is not reliable when people don't have symptoms. So it's really important that we don't allow it to offer false assurance. The infection control and the isolation and everything remains the most important thing we do there.
Willie Rennie.
No, I recognise absolutely that last point. We need to make sure everything is in place to protect individuals in care homes, including those who are coming in. So the strictest of measures is absolutely essential. A survey conducted by the charity Inclusion Scotland has identified worrying evidence, at times horrific, from parents of children with additional support needs. We find that their children are exhibiting behaviours such as self-harm, because of the removal of their structure, of their daily routine, contact with friends and access to the outdoors. For some, the only form of exercise they could take was swimming, and that has gone as well. Will the First Minister look at what more can be done to support these families? And can they be given special consideration as we do consider the strategy for the exit from the lockdown?
First Minister.
Consider on an ongoing basis what more we can do to support people in the situations that Willie Rennie has described, and vulnerable people generally, though obviously vulnerable people have different vulnerabilities and can't be treated as one homogenous group, and that will definitely be to the fore of our thinking as we look towards the next phase. I've said in public before, I'll say it in Parliament now, we will later this week publish not a hard and fast exit strategy from the lockdown, but some of the principles that will guide us in the framework in which we will take these decisions to begin that process of opening up that discussion to the wider public. On the issue about young people with additional needs, I mean, there are many aspects of what we're doing to deal with this virus that worry me as much as the virus itself in some respects, and that is one aspect of this. There is one important point of detail that I think Willie Rennie had actually raised previously about the guidance around exercise for example, people with autism to be allowed to exercise more than once a day to help them stick to their routines. And we have decided to amend that guidance to give greater clarity about these things being permissible, to try to help as far as possible in these exceptional, unusual circumstances, to help people have as much structure to their day as possible. We will consider to continue to give full consideration to all of these issues.